marriage.
What was that?
You never seen Princess Bride? Fucking get with it, man.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Yeah, good point.
Welcome back to Shit They Don't Tell You. It is, well, at the point of you seeing this, we have passed our 3-year wedding anniversary and our 7 years of being together total as a couple. Also, we've known each other for over a decade. I pretty much can't remember a time where I didn't know you.
Same. You're my best friend in the whole wide world.
You've been integrated in my life from birth, pretty much.
Yep. It feels like that. We were just saying that the other night.
Yeah.
That it feels like I've always known you.
Yeah. It does feel that way.
So
some may call it soulmates. I don't know.
I think so.
Freaking weirdos.
Yeah, those lame people
Those
who are
weirdos.
super lame in their relationships would do that, but we're way cooler than that.
We're logical people only, and that's like not scientifically proven that you could possibly have a soulmate. In fact, souls aren't even scientifically proven, so why don't you fuck off?
We only speak to science, which is what we did in our Flat Earth episodes, which you should definitely check out. I can't believe all the people who thought that was real. It's so funny.
It's kind of funny, though.
It's the best.
I laughed more at reading the comments than during the episode.
It's the best. I'm like, these people didn't even watch it or listen to it because you can hear us laughing during it.
They might have listened to it, but they don't understand satire or was not expecting the channel to be satire because maybe they're new.
Yeah.
Maybe they just came to like Google flat earthers and bully them.
It's the best, man.
Like
it's such an easy standpoint.
I know.
It's like when I did that Westboro Baptist Church video where I was trolling those guys.
Yeah.
Like it's the easiest thing to troll people like that.
Anyway,
but today,
so Steve prepared this topic. I think people by now, if you watch enough episodes, you can tell which one Steve's prepared.
What does that mean?
Well, like the Flat Earth one or the John Travolta one.
Yeah, they're super sick.
Or the Nicolas Cage one.
Hey, how about the checking in one? That was
pretty good. That was pretty good. I like that one.
See?
And you did do the bias one too.
I did the bias one. Yeah. See.
All right.
So
go ahead.
Today,
I'm a little biased.
So last year around this time, same time.
Yes.
I had you do a marriage survey, and I think this is important for everybody out there. If you're in a relationship, you're just dating, or you're married or whatever. It's good to check in with your partner and see what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, where you can improve. We
did a survey, like an employment survey.
We did.
So if you've ever worked at a job where they do a yearly employee review, exactly. It was meant to be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, like on
this.
But
I want to be. I mean, we're funny people.
Yeah.
We're fun people. But I just want to do a real. I have a bunch of questions I got from all over the place and from my own brain.
Like in my previous marriage survey, which you can watch on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Nikki Limo. If you are listening to just the audio portion right now, you can go to the YouTube channel and it's up there from a year ago. And I liked drawing diagrams of what I thought about particular things, and a lot of them were phallic.
Yes. You did a lot of dick jokes in it?
No, they weren't jokes.
Right.
I appreciate your dick.
Thank you very much. I know you do.
I think it's a strong part of our marriage.
You're very good about that. You've always had
Thank you.
Thank you. It was a strong part of our dating relationship as well.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome. So, we just want to kick off the survey.
Okay.
How are you feeling right now?
Good. I just drank a cup of coffee.
Okay, perfect.
So I'm wired.
Perfect.
Also, today, right now, this moment,
Yeah.
This is the 7-year anniversary of the first time we said I love you to each other. And it had been where we counted like the first day of us dating. That was our previous anniversary. When we went to get married, we couldn't book that date specifically, so we had to get married the next day. So tomorrow's our wedding anniversary.
Our 3rd-year wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
So today is our wedding anniversary eve, as we like to celebrate.
Yes.
Tonight we light the candles.
Our original anniversary date.
That's right.
Thank you.
We light the candles. We give out a gift every night.
Yes.
And we love it.
I haven't gotten a gift yet.
We do it every night, baby.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So starting off the survey.
Okay. I'm ready. I'm prepared. Should I be nervous?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Okay.
Am I like reapplying to be a wife?
Maybe.
Okay.
I have some complaints.
All right.
No, I don't.
Because in employee reviews, you're kind of like
You're on the edge of your seat.
being interviewed. Yeah.
True. And you're like, can I have a raise? And they're like, we'll talk about it next
They're
time.
like, prove the areas why you deserve a raise.
Yeah, all that great stuff.
I mean.
So, do you feel like you share deeply personal information about yourself with me?
Yes.
And how much of that out of 10?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
9.75.
What's the 0.35?
I have to have secrets. A lady must always have secrets.
Oh, no.
It keeps it
I wonder what they are.
mysterious.
You're so cool.
Thank you.
It worked. I find myself, and by the way, yes, same.
Okay.
9.75.
What's your 0.25?
You know what I'm saying?
What's your 0.25? I feel like your 0.25 is the fact that you just copied me and that you don't want to tell me about it right now.
9.8. 9.8.
9.8?
9.8.
Oh, so you only have 0.2 secrets.
For example,
What?
the other day, I cut my hair. This is not a joke. I cut my own hair.
Well, your hair's a joke, so
that
some may argue. Some may argue.
So many argue.
Some may argue.
Many argue at all times.
No, I actually think you did a good job.
Thank you very much. I think I did too.
It's a little patchy here, but I feel like I wouldn't have noticed if you didn't tell me that you cut your own hair. I wouldn't have been like looking for the flaws.
Well, look, people looking for the flaws are real extra cynical now because I had to do it myself.
Right. Well, I think you did a good job.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so that's like, I didn't tell you.
I noticed.
See?
And then you're like, do you notice anything? I was like, cut your hair.
Most of my secrets are bathroom related.
Right. That's true.
Which I think is good.
I think that's good too. I enjoy, you were actually the first, well, we talked about this before, but you're the first person that introduced that
theology
of keeping that a mystery.
It's theory. It's advanced theory.
Because, I did buy into the whole philosophy of, well, like once you're comfortable around each other, you should be able to fart, you should be able to poop, you should be able to do whatever you want.
Propaganda.
And I mean,
I still hear people say that.
Why do you need that to know that your partner's comfortable around you? Because I'm perfectly 100% comfortable around Steve, but I don't fart around my friends either. Like, It's not like I'm doing anything different.
Do you fart around your mother? Some of you do. I wouldn't do it. I think it's fucking rude. I don't spit around women either. I think that's rude.
I also, to be honest, don't really fart. Like,
I don't think you do either.
I don't. Like, I don't really eat things that make me feel gassy.
No, because sometimes I can hear you peeing through the wall.
Yeah.
And I don't hear you ripping them at all.
No.
And a lot of people do that.
That's true.
So,
I have heard that.
Good for you.
But don't listen to me pee. How rude.
I'm not trying to. Sometimes I do because I'm like laying in bed and you go in there real quick.
And you get all turned on by it?
Yeah, I get really turned on imagining you pee. Also. That's my part of my 2.2 out of 10. I find myself thinking about my spouse during the day. 1 through 9. Honest.
Wow. Honest?
Honesty.
You're not going to get your feelings hurt?
No.
Depends on the day.
Yeah.
But I'd say on average 5.
Pretty good.
Yeah?
That's pretty good.
Okay,
I think that's really good.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, because I wasn't sure because I need to focus and I tend to have like 10,000 thoughts in my head at the same time and then I don't get anything done. And unless we're working on something together during the day, I have to designate work hours, right? And so if I have any sort of distraction that's not work related, then I get really pissed at myself. I feel really guilty. I feel like I didn't get enough done. And so as much as I would like to think about you all the time, like unless you're directly, and I feel like we've kind of established a great working relationship where you are involved in my work life. Mm-hmm. So I get to think about you more than
your brain is also
people.
Kind of a superhighway. And so sometimes you're just heading somewhere and you got to get there.
Yeah.
So I know that.
There can't be traffic.
No. Or you can't be husbands in the way being like, hey, because I get hit.
Yeah,
I get
that's
hit a
true.
lot.
And then because I don't want you to feel rejected, I'm like, oh no, here's my polite face. Okay, cool. Okay, gotta go. Bye.
It is like that.
Yeah.
It's just as pleasant too. As I get rolled up the windshield. And you drive on your merry way. Okay, I think about you probably 8 out of 10.
Oh my god!
But honestly, it's a whole thing, right? So I write a lot, and as I'm writing things, I think of you a lot. They remind me of you a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. I think that I have like a 2 degrees of separation from Nikki because I've been with you for so long and I've known you for so long that usually you can name almost anything and I could somehow tie it into you.
Aw.
Yeah.
Orange.
Orange is one of the colors that you wear because you do color.
That's
color
true.
week. Yeah, it's easy for me. It happens to me all the time.
That's so true because I originally thought the fruit, but then when you started saying wear, I love wearing orange.
So she wears different colors based on the day of the week it is because it's fun for her, and orange is one of the main ones.
Well, you're partially right. It's not based on the day of the week. It's the numbers of the date of the year. You're close.
Thank you. Because of my commitment.
Do you think of my butt mostly, or you think
do.
of my personality?
I do.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much is butt?
Well, usually that thing's everywhere. It's everywhere I look. It's like the fucking Full House theme song.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much is personality?
2.
Damn.
I'm fucking kidding. Of course it's.
Luckily, I hide my personality in my butt.
There you go. Your personality is why I love
kidding.
you, punk.
I know.
Your butt is just.
I am so fucking secure with that. If you don't think that's crazy.
It's fine. It's just fun.
I feel like you praise that more than my butt.
I do.
You covertly touch my butt all the time.
All the time.
But you're talking
and
about
overtly.
Stuff that I do and that
all the time.
Stuff that
I think you're the cutest person in the whole world.
You're so sweet.
It's true.
Get you a man like Steve. I'm extra emotional this week too. You're making me cry.
Oh, you're the best. Well, this one's kind of easy, but by the way, I got some of these questions. Want to give attribution to marriagedynamics.com. Thank you to marriagedynamics.com. But I also have my own questions in here, but I just want to make sure I
all right, acknowledgments.
Yes.
Marriage, what is it?
Marriagedynamics.com.
Dynamics.com.
Because of my commitment, this one's kind of a give me. But for some people who are listening, I think this is a good question.
Okay.
Because of my commitment to my spouse, I would not let others come between us.
Oh, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that's easy. For
easy
us.
as fuck.
But really ask yourself at home if you're going through this too. Number it out of 10. And not all these questions are going to be out of 10, by the way. But
I think that's when I was talking earlier about how you're kind of integrated into work life, when we've kind of integrated our entire lives together. I think the people that this might concern are a lot of couples. Actually, I'd say maybe majority of couples have very compartmentalized lives.
Yeah.
They have their work life, they have their social life with their guy friends or girlfriends or whatever.
Work friends.
Yeah, work friends, and then they have their alone couple time. Whereas with us, all of our friends are mutual.
Yeah.
So our friend time is the same as when we have it like romantic time separately, but like it's not like you have a separate group of friends that you go hang out with, and you don't have a separate job that you go to,
It's also too, but this question is not just about, because it sounds like I'm talking about cheating, but really.
Well, that's why I directed it to compartmentalizing.
Exactly. I think that you put it perfectly.
Like someone could let work get in between the relationship. Someone could let their fucking guy friends or their girlfriends like talk them up, gas them up, and then.
Or even like I do Taco Tuesdays with the guys. Or whatever. If it's something that can come between you and your spouse, how likely is it out of 10? And is that a problem, right? Mm-hmm. Is there an issue with it? Ask yourselves that question.
Yeah.
Like if that is an issue for you. If it's not, great.
I think communication is really important too, because I do enjoy, no, don't take this personally. Like, but like when you go and shoot JK News all day, mm-hmm. Then there's that one day of the week that even though we don't see each other a lot when we're both at the house, like it's not like we're constantly seeing each other.
Yeah.
It's an energy thing of like complete non-distraction.
Right.
Where I can go to the kitchen and if I'm like in the middle of a thought process, I'm not like, he might come at any minute and destroy it or whatever. Nothing.
Destroy it. Shatter it to pieces.
You may shatter my whole fucking
take your dream away.
You might rob me of my joy.
Well, that is how it feels for you in the moment.
It does in the moment. Like it's heightened when I'm in the kitchen or like some common areas between our offices where like I need to figure this out.
So Nikki does this thing where she stacks thoughts, right? Almost like cups. And if somebody interrupts it, the whole thing comes down like a house of cards.
Yeah.
So.
And then I have to start over.
Yeah. So it's and since I know that, I don't take offense to it always. Sometimes it's just a reflex for you, and it's all good.
So what's yours? Oh yeah, you said 10.
Yeah, it's not a problem for me.
It's the same. Yeah.
But and then nothing. If ever there was an issue, like sometimes.
Oh yeah, we've had a few moments where I'm like, hey, this hurts me, and it's this specific scenario.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think that you've always heard that out, and like you hear me out, and then.
But this is also important too, guys. Like, we're not the perfect couple, all this shit. Like, we built all this stuff.
Yeah.
So just to remind everybody, because I used to write with Mike for too long. I didn't call you.
Yeah, or like you'd make It was more about the making promises part.
Yes.
So like if you write too long with Mike or whatever, or if you write all night, I don't care.
Yeah.
As long as that was the previously discussed thing. Like, hey, I'm going to be writing all night.
Mm-hmm.
But when you say, I'm going to be home by 10 and we'll have sexy time,
yes.
and then I'm getting all dolled up for you at 10, and then 10 goes by and 11 goes by and 12 goes by and 1 goes by, I'm fucking pissed.
Of course.
Yeah.
And by the way, that, for all you out there who are like, what the fuck? I'm on an underground facility, basically.
Yeah.
Totally lost track of time.
Yeah.
And I was mortified when I realized what time it was.
Yeah.
Because we don't look at phones. There's no distractions. We're not on the internet.
Yeah.
We're just fucking writing. So, yeah, horrible. Doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah. That was like year 1.
Yeah.
Year 2, maybe.
We were at the bar. I'm kidding. Because of I already said that. Okay. I received considerable emotional support from my spouse or partner.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 for me too.
Yeah.
Easy style. Yeah. Easy style.
I feel like that's actually your genius. I know that you're very good at comedy, but I feel like your emotional IQ is super high. Like, I think that you're just complete genius at that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm a comedic genius too.
No.
Okay.
I'll never give it to you.
I know. I don't want it from you. I don't think it would be fun. Also, I would never think that about myself. But thank you. I appreciate that very much. Yeah. It's so funny. Yeah, that's a 10 for me. Easy. And then at home, ask yourselves, emotional support from your spouse. Can you tell them everything?
I just need to keep going because I just feel like you even helped me understand my emotions more than I understood my emotions, and no one has ever got that there with me ever.
I just think I'm a good listener.
Yeah, I think that's my thing. Runs fucking deep. Like, I feel too much.
I know.
I feel deep.
I know.
People get scared.
No, I don't get
I try to hide it.
You don't scare me, little girl.
Stop making me cry.
You're gonna make me cry. Okay. My relationship with my spouse is very romantic. Out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. And still want to give you a romantic grand gesture this year, but everything's shutting down. Definitely did not help.
Fucking lucky you.
Well, it's true.
Getting away with not giving me a grand romantic gesture.
I had a plan, actually. I had a plan.
For those of you who don't know,
it's her New Year's resolution.
My New Year's resolution.
Take it away.
Is to receive a romantic grand gesture.
Because you're watching this fucking love show.
Yeah, it was.
What was this love show?
Oh, well, it wasn't a love show. It was called This Is Us, but like fucking 2 of the main guy characters give huge romantic grand gestures, and I was like,
every episode.
You know what? I want a romantic grand gesture.
And for those of the uninitiated, what is a romantic grand gesture?
Well,
example?
I used to get them. So in the very beginning of our time ever, we on our first date, Steve knew that I was so fucking broke that I would steal from craft services on set, and that was how I was able to survive because the only pennies that I did have I'd spend on cat food. And the only way I could feed myself was by stealing craft services. So when we went on a date, and also I don't like to ask people for help. So no. I don't. Notoriously. I would have never. I still agreed. I still offered to pay 50-50 on the tab on our first date. But anyway, we were going home, and he dropped me off at home, and he's like, "Oh, this fell out of your purse," and he stuffed something in my purse. I get up to my apartment. By the way, that was the night of our first kiss, too. Very romantic.
And I got to grab that ass for the first time.
I don't even remember because ass so fat, I just didn't even feel it.
Buddy, I was all up in it.
But I get upstairs and I open my purse. I'm like, what could this possibly be? He had given me a Ralph's gift certificate for $50.
Well, you didn't know that at the time. I didn't say that.
Yeah, I didn't say that at the time.
I was classier about it.
And also, like,
trash.
out of nowhere, out of context, a Ralph's gift certificate is like, what the fuck? Like, whatever. But knowing that he thought about it, like, he remembered. Because I didn't even feel like I talked about it that much. But I said it one day on set, or maybe he saw me putting stuff in my purse or something. I can't remember.
You said it one day on set, and you weren't joking.
Yeah, and the fact that you remembered that and was so thoughtful, it was more the thought. Because I'm not a gifts love language person, but it was like the fact that you thought about me, and that was kind of tied into acts of service because it's like you're handling the food part of my life. But yeah, and then there was a little note in there that was like, for my craft service girl, you don't have to go to craft service anymore.
Cute girl.
Yeah.
Who steals craft service.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
That's a fucking grand romantic gesture.
I remember writing that.
I don't need any rose petals to the bed. I just thought that was
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Me too.
I really do. I remember our first date like it was yesterday.
Sweat me off my fucking feet.
I remember the temperature and the air. I remember before our first date telling Jess Lazama, one of our best pals,
that you're gonna.
I was gonna blow you out of the fucking water.
Yeah, and he actually did sweep me off my feet literally on that date earlier that night. I almost fell down a huge flight of stairs. I was not used to wearing heels. I was trying to make a good impression. I was trying to have my legs be looking sexy.
They were.
So I was not used to walking in heels. And I tripped on the first step, the top of step of a very very long flight of stairs.
At the AMC
It was
Burbank.
definitely a trip to the hospital. Had something happen. And he caught me as I fell, like fucking Superman.
Yeah, dude.
Swept me off my feet and then gave me a Ralph's gift card.
And then I said, I got you. And then she said, like Superman, she's like, you got me. Who's got you?
Did not say that.
Like in the Christopher Reeves Superman.
Did not say that.
That's what she said. Remember that night? Like it was yesterday. Okay, next question.
Mm-hmm.
It's going beautifully, by the way.
Aw. I know. I haven't gone to shit talk at all. Damn.
I know. I expect, and those of you out there also answer these. I expect my love for my spouse to last the rest of my life. Now, I know you're all rolling your eyes. You're like, we know Nikki and Steve are going to say yes to this.
What if I was like 4 out of 10?
Right. But this is for you too. Okay? So answer that and
Yeah.
ask yourself how that is and be honest with each other and then try to find out what the deal is there.
This is why people think that we try to break people up. We don't try to break people up, but we genuinely feel like if you feel like a 4 out of 10 that you can't love this person for the rest of your life or they're not going to love you for the rest of your life, I think you should seek other options.
Yeah, or sit down and try to find out
or
why.
Or figure it out, yeah, or work on it. Because you couldn't find reciprocative love and happiness.
We don't go to the breakup flashcard as often as people think.
Yeah.
We just were around some pretty bad relationships.
Yeah.
A couple times.
That had developed toxicity over time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And by the way, they thank us every day, Joe and Jess do, for breaking them up. So deal with it, motherfuckers.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. I communicate well with my spouse. 1 through 10.
I'd say like 9 out of 10. I mean, maybe there's some room for error there. I think that's normal. I think that we're always like working on communication.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes I think that one is just like, I think I'm communicating it, but it wasn't in the language that you processed it.
Yeah.
You know, like you processed it a different way. So it didn't get through, which is, there's like errors in communication. And
yeah, I'm going to ding myself on this one a little bit. I'm going to give myself an 8 out of 10.
Wow.
Because I think that sometimes I try to anticipate how you feel about something. We just talked about this the other day.
Yeah.
Instead of just letting you deal with whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah. Instead of like facing what might be a negative response, you'd rather just not say anything at all.
Like, for example, if she's on a stress freight train and I'm going to ask her a question, I should just ask her the same question.
Yeah.
Because I need it answered and not treat her like I covered her in pillows first.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Because I think, and I get, and that's why I think our communication's good, because I can communicate about how we're not communicating properly.
Yeah.
But I think that the miscommunication there was not that when I'm stressed, I need you to not ask me any questions. It's just you're going to get a different type of answer. I will be much more short and to the point and information based. Mm-hmm. So like if you need an answer for a question that you need information that I know, then like having a conversation about something that's more in depth and more feelings, but I don't have time for that.
Right.
So I can't get into like a whole like feelings conversation. But if it's informational and it's like, hey, what's this? And I can just give you the answer, then that's great.
I don't know what you just said.
Great. Cool.
Yeah.
7 out of 10 for
7
you.
out of 10. 7 out of 10.
I also think that you only recently started opening up a little bit more about when you're having a tough time.
Yes. That's why I give myself, that's another reason why I
Yeah.
give myself 8 out of 10. Now, I'd say before I was probably 6.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think you've improved.
Yeah. I definitely got better at that. I also, I just didn't want you to have to deal with my shit. But I think that's
lame.
That's
not fair either.
It's not fair.
Because you're dismissing the joy that your partner gets from helping you.
Yeah. And that changed on an episode of Shit They Don't Tell You After Dark. Shout out to
our
Patreons. We love you guys.
Patreon.com/sticky.
That's the only place you can hear it. Deal with it.
That's actually probably the deepest episodes we've done have been bonus episodes on Shit They Don't Tell You.
It's just me and Nikki sitting in the closet. We don't have a fucking Mark here judging us.
The faces this guy makes. He's flipping us off right now.
He's so cynical.
He's giving just lewd hand signals.
Yeah, he is so rude. If you ever encounter him in public, he's rude.
He's probably wearing a Shit They Don't Tell You shirt.
That's happened.
Probably not wearing a mask.
No. Oh, definitely not wearing a mask.
So shame him too.
Okay. Yeah, I think that was an honest one.
Yeah.
I cannot. For those of you who are like, oh, great, it's just gonna be 10 out of 10s the whole time. I know you. I hear you. I see you.
Give the people what they want. They want to hear us say a 3 out of 10 and say why.
Oh, I really don't like you on this. I cannot imagine another person making me as happy as my spouse does. Now, think about that real quick. Another person, right? Mm-hmm. So if you have a best girlfriend, best guy friend, whatever it is, do they make you happier than your spouse or your boyfriend, girlfriend?
Keyword person, because Franklin doesn't have to be included in this question.
Please don't include animals.
Don't include your animals.
Or it's a scary answer you'll get.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 for sure.
Easily 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
You're my favorite person. Okay. Hope you answered that too. Honestly, back at home.
Yeah. I don't know if the communication's off or people don't feel safe in their relationships. I don't know how honest they can be with answers.
Listen, I know people who don't want to hang with their spouse and they want to just do dates
with other couples. But how would they answer the questions?
I know.
Yeah.
But when you think about that, right? If you're just the type of couple who just needs to be around other couples because otherwise you have a miserable time, you got to figure that out too.
I've seen people in abusive relationships who have to convince themselves that they're in love and that's the person because they're even scared at the thought of admitting to themselves that it's wrong and then that person finding out.
It's a real thing, man.
Yeah.
It's scary. Okay, next question. I will always feel a strong responsibility for my spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever.
Responsibility.
A responsibility for them.
What does that mean?
It's like if we're out somewhere and you took a dump on the ground or something.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, it could be one or two ways. Either one way, the responsibility is like, you're dependent on me, and I think that's one way to interpret that, or the whole, like, if you're in public and you do something embarrassing.
It could be either way, probably.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
Responsibility. I mean, I guess 7 out of 10?
Oh,
like, if you did something, I just feel like we're really independent.
Yeah.
Minded.
Yeah.
So, like, if you did something embarrassing in front of people or in a group of people, I don't know, I feel like I don't have responsibility over that unless it's...
Yeah, you didn't do anything wrong.
Right. Unless it's something directly associated where I'm being thrown under the bus or about something and then I have to, like, have your back on it or... I don't know. I can't even think of a situation where I would have to be like, and me too. You know, like... I don't know.
I get it. I'm a 10 out of 10 on this one. I would, no matter what you did, I would probably...
I feel like, okay, so if you fucked up and then people were like, Steve fucked up, I would have your back.
Yeah, I know.
I just don't feel responsible.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe I got this interpretation of the question wrong.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's a weird question.
Yeah, we'll move on. Move on.
Okay.
I feel I can really trust my spouse. Next question.
2 out of 10.
Wow.
Just, like when I got burned a couple times, like I really trusted him and I
didn't give you the right chocolates, the right dark chocolates.
Wow, you're triggering me.
Yeah, so, I remember.
But I was going to talk about how, like, I used to have a set of pans and he would cut his chicken with
and we're going to cut the commercial
and fork.
We'll be right back.
Okay.
After these words.
It just really hurt. Hey, are you listening to Shit They Don't Tell You? Because if not, how are you listening to this ad about Shit They Don't Tell You?
It's because they can't turn it off. They don't know how to turn it off.
Well, that's pretty convenient for us.
They're throwing their phone on the ground right now.
Once you can figure it out, could you please rate us and subscribe and tell us that we're beautiful?
Listen,
we want it.
We need the validation. But mostly we need the ratings because that's basically how the world is run. That's
how we continue to make more and more and more of this content, this glorious content that you love so much.
If you like the show, support the show. And if you don't like the show, support the show.
And it's for free. The stars are for free.
Yeah, you give them away for free. It's not like if you give 5 stars, you pay more money. They should have charged for every single star. I would have made so much money. It just made a killing. And we're back. And we wanted to get an answer from Nikki on I feel I can really trust my spouse.
Not only is this a 10 out of 10, but I have never suspected anything from you.
Same.
We had a moment, and the exact moment.
I was in Florida.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't even have to say, we have never even talked about this really a lot.
Not in
but
years.
That's just there was the one time, and I think it was I'm going to say majorly influenced by my previous relationship of just a
betrayal.
Trigger. Because that was a fucked up relationship. But Steve had said he was gonna call me before bed, and he was in Florida, and there were a lot of factors at play. Like I was supposed to be there, but then Steve got his fucking debit card eaten in Europe, and then I had to bail him out, and then I didn't have enough money to pay for a ticket to Florida. Yep. So I felt like I was supposed to be there, and then he wasn't calling me like he said he would, and then he wasn't picking up his phone, and he wasn't texting back, and I was like, well, maybe he fell asleep. But then I looked online, and a fan was tweeting that she texted him and couldn't get a hold of him, and I was like, why is he giving out his number to some random girl? And
Classic.
And that was the only one time in our entire history, and that happened we hadn't even hit our 1-year anniversary yet.
Yeah, and that was, for those of you who think I'm shady, my friends Chad and V were actually there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I was getting them into a party, and then this girl happened to be there during the conversation where I'm like, hey, I can get you into this party. She's like, oh, can you get me in? And I was like, sure. And she's like, oh, well, cool. Well, how do I get a hold of you? And I was like, oh, you can tweet me. And then I was like, I don't remember how it happened. I was already giving my number.
Doesn't remember how it happened.
I don't remember how it happened.
Very suspicious.
I don't remember how it happened. Where
some girl just happened to get your number.
I don't remember these conversations.
Right.
But I remember I was giving Chad and V my number or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then I ended up just also getting her number as well.
Yeah.
She had a boyfriend. There was no interest or whatever. It was right. I was just trying to help her get into a party. Because at Maker Studios, I could get people into parties.
Yeah.
So that was for the Maker party, and then I was in a dead zone at this golf course. I could not call you.
Yeah.
Because I was with Mike, and we couldn't get service anywhere. Mm-hmm. And Horton, I think. And then I remember she was trying to text me. I probably wasn't getting back to her because of that. Mm-hmm. And then she resorted to Twitter.
Yeah.
And so it seemed like, I'm engaging with this chick.
You're
and by the way,
out, yes.
There's another part of this story that I've never said.
You don't have to say that part
publicly, but I was also trying to warn this girl about somebody in particular. Yes.
Yeah.
So that was also something that happened.
Yeah.
And you guys would know who it is. I'm kidding. No, it's
fine. Yeah. So that was the only time ever. I've never ever had a trust issue at all with you ever, and that it was just super influenced by previous relationship and then circumstance and miscommunication and all of that.
It happens though, man.
And we had just gotten back from Europe. Like I said, that he got
my car got eaten.
Yeah, your car got eaten.
You had to pick up the tab for what we were doing in Europe.
But we had fought a lot in Europe. We fought nonstop. We fucked nonstop in Europe too, but we also fought a lot.
We fucked in every country.
Yeah, except for Sweden because your brother was there. Yeah. Fucking Nate.
Fucking little
He's
piece
banned.
of shit.
He's banned from the show.
He's definitely banned from the show.
Yeah. So 10 out of 10.
Same.
No question.
Not even a question.
Yeah.
Never ever think about it.
Doesn't even cross my mind.
No. Not a concern.
And in fact, not only that, but everyone we know is there's no fuck. If someone said you cheated on me, no one would believe that person. No one. You could actually probably get away with cheating on me because I would never believe anybody.
Thank you.
I would never believe that person. I would laugh at them. I'd be like,
I would never in the history of time or space. My relationship with my spouse is very passionate.
Yeah. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Same. Oh.
Define passion. Just for the people that don't know. I mean, might be what's the difference between romance and passion?
So I don't just slam fuck you into a wall. I do that, but I don't just do that. Like we
don't just do that.
Passionate times. We open up with each other about how we feel about each other a lot. Like we were very open and honest, I think, and in a nice way.
Yeah. Okay. So we have different definitions, but I'm glad that works for you. So mine is like when I think of the difference between romance and passion, romance is like the gestures, the like setting the mood, like the like candle dinners and like the things that you get that no one else gets in the world. Like you only get these special things and this special treatment. I feel like that's very romantic.
Yeah.
Passion, like, because you could be doing those things and I could be only getting the thing and like nobody else in the world gets them. But you know how people are like, well, there's no passion there. There's just no passion.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you could be going through the motions and you could be making these gestures, but the passion part is like, for me, with stimulation, like stimulating conversation. I recently, within the past year, found out that that's defined as being a sapiosexual. I don't get turned on or find anyone attractive unless I'm being stimulated through either conversation or humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a way better way to
and then
passion.
like, so when we're having dinner and we start getting into a passionate conversation, I get so turned on.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
And like that, I just want to go home and like rip your clothes off, you know?
Same. And I love just going places and experiencing them with you.
Yeah.
And talking about it and reminiscing about it. I don't know. We have a good time.
We also like get along, like when we have different opinions on a place. Like
it's so fun.
We love going to a new place that neither of us have ever gone before, whether that be a country or a restaurant or whatever, and making our own observations and then talking about our opinions on the place. And usually we agree. Like I'd say like 8 times out of 10 we agree, but sometimes we have differing opinions, and that's actually really stimulating too.
Absolutely.
Because I love hearing why he had a completely different opinion.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although when it comes to the big swings, like the vacation destinations, we're like
we're lockstep. Yeah.
Because we like the same shit, right?
Yeah.
It's not like I like to go traverse the city while she likes to be by the beach. We both like to be by the beach at all times.
I'd say the only one thing is like I may be a little bit more adventurous.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I sometimes mostly want to chill, but then like 1 or 2 of the days I want to go on an excursion and like see some shit.
And since being with you, I'm glad that we did a couple of those.
Yeah.
Because it's something I wouldn't have been down to do before. Because I'm like, I'm on vacation. I'm not going on a fucking excursion. Sounds lame. If I got to hike somewhere.
Yeah.
But the one we did in Bali,
I'm
so glad we did that.
Yeah.
Like, I'll never forget
that was one of the best experiences we've ever had.
It was awesome. So So because of that, I'm a cooler person, I think. I'm
open.
Way cooler.
Yeah. I think that's what counts, is like constantly growing, learning new things about yourself, changing perspectives. You have a partner that challenges your perspectives.
Yeah.
You know?
And they want to get better for you too, man. That's important too.
Exactly.
Like for example. Well, we'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get
there. Ooh, mysterious.
You know what I mean?
There's that 0.2%.
Okay, folks. I know you guys are going to eye roll for this one for us, but this is for you too. I plan to continue my relationship with my spouse.
Ooh, can I think about it?
Yeah. We'll be right back.
Well, no, I need like at least a day. I need to talk to my lawyer.
Okay. We'll let you guys know next time. But no, okay. Think about this, folks, because we've had a lot of people during the Q&As. They're like, "Hey, I don't know if I can continue this shit." So out of 10, where are you at on that?
I think you need some people just don't like being single. Mm-hmm. They like to date just because they feel like that's what they should be doing. Mm-hmm. Like if there's this missing part in your life, you should be filling it. And I don't like the concept of placeholders. I think that you shouldn't settle. You shouldn't be in a relationship with someone just because you want to be with somebody, or like, and you're constantly like looking to upgrade or looking around, you know, like, and thinking of that person as a placeholder.
Or conversely, because you're like, oh, I don't want to date again.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to get back out there again. I mean, we have friends who are like that. They're like, I just don't want to do that again.
Yeah. I mean, and maybe I'm wrong for speaking for everybody, but I don't think I've seen anyone find true happiness from that. Mm-hmm. So I'm just speaking on that experience, that I know people that have done that and then they aren't having a good time.
Yep.
And also I think that you should just be clear on what your end goals are when it comes to relationships. Like maybe you and the partner are like, yeah, at the end of a couple years, like let's start swinging, right. You know, like maybe that's your pact. I don't know. Maybe that's your relationship. But as far as being with that person, I don't know. For me, it's long game.
Yep. Same. 10 out of 10. I feel my spouse really understands me. This is a good one out there, folks. Like understands you and understands like your mood
intentions.
Swings. Yeah, your intentions.
Motivations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's important as fuck.
That's why I think we fought so much the first year.
Yes.
We did not understand each other.
No.
I thought his intentions and motivations were, I mean, they were just rubbing me the wrong way.
Ego driven.
Yeah, they were I thought he was cocky, like, and then.
That was a hot shot.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I knew you were sensitive too, so I was just like, he's insecure, and he's like, he's like, you're either cocky or you're like being insensitive.
You thought I was flying too close to the edge.
Probably.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy's gonna figure out the Earth is flat. Yeah. He needs to chill. But then I feel like we had so many really good, deep conversations, and our actions have constantly proven to each other that we're loyal and that we do mean what our intentions are. Like, we are telling the truth in those.
Yeah, and that's the understanding part, right? So
yeah.
Those of you listening are like, well, understands is entirely about understanding their intentions, understanding when they're mad about you, when they're mad at something. You're not going, well, you're just my enemy right now.
Right.
All that kind of shit that you can get into.
You're still on the same team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understanding is about really seeing you as a whole person and not as like you're on a team right now and you're at war with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a 10 for sure. I would rather be with my spouse than anyone else. Okay, folks.
11 out of 10.
Same. And there's a lot of unrequited love out there. There's a lot of people who look dude, my ex, I had an ex who was like addicted to looking at her exes.
Oh.
And she wouldn't fucking stop.
Oh.
And it was like fucking annoying. And then I remember when she got with
are you gonna say
another guy?
Okay.
I'm not gonna say.
Okay.
But when she got with another guy,
yeah. Someone with a lot of status.
True.
Yeah.
I remember she would reach out to me, same as she used to do to her exes, and I never fucking responded to her because I wanted to give him the respect that she never gave me.
Yeah.
And I just, that sucked. But yeah, so I would rather be with my person more than anyone else. Really ask yourself that, folks.
I mean, and not just relationship wise, like I would rather hang out with you than anybody else in the world.
Same.
So
if it was down to it, like where it's like you and me or you and or we all go somewhere with a bunch of people or whatever, I'm you and me every time.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that.
Totally. Which is pretty lucky that we got quarantined together.
Very
lucky. We got quarantined with other people. Fucking sucks.
Ugh. I have confidence in the stability of my relationship with my person.
Yes. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Ask yourself that. Okay, now we're getting into kind of this is no longer the out of 10.
Okay.
We're going to break it into
true, false.
Nope. This is
trick questions.
This is more just
multiple choice.
Not multiple choice, not any of that.
Fill in the blanks.
Answers.
Oh.
Just answers.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Hit me.
List your 3 biggest needs. How can I fulfill them?
Huh.
Not bits.
Okay. I know. I'm just trying to think.
But then bits. No, okay.
This is like you give me a hard question.
It's hard, right?
Well, have you thought of yours? Can you go first?
My 3 biggest needs, affection.
Okay.
No doubt.
The dick.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's tight. Definitely need to be able to hang out with you.
Yeah.
Like that's big for me. And then my 3rd biggest need is that's a hard one.
Yeah. Okay. I got going off of love languages.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fucking, I guess, needy because I have 2 that are tied for first place.
Okay.
And then one is just 1 point below those 2. So there's basically 3 at the top.
Okay.
Every single time I've taken that love languages quiz. But the 2 that are tied at the top are acts of service and quality time.
Mm-hmm.
So I need those. And you have increasingly, very impressively, continued to up the ante on acts of service, which I wasn't even expecting. It was not like I never take it for granted. But after we got married, most people, a lot of people, married couples were telling us after you get married, they stop trying, they things get really
enjoy
comfortable.
Your last blowjob.
Yeah. No, Steve stepped it up in such a big way, like around the house, because chaos and clutter kind of like really gets to my psyche and like scrambles my brain when I'm already trying to like sort things out. And so sometimes I'll come home and the whole house is clean. Like sometimes like if he knows I'm just having like a really stressful day, he'll be like, how can I help? I'll be like, can you just please wash the dishes? And he does that. Like, so acts of service, super huge, big need. You knock it out of the park. Quality time, I feel like knock it out of the park. I did notice in quarantine, and I had to check myself on this because we were spending time together, but I didn't feel like it was quality time because we were watching an abundance of reality TV.
Great stuff.
And we love it. We connect on it. Yeah. But I felt like because of quarantine, we usually had gone out to dinner on date nights, had stimulating conversation, and then gone home and like maybe messed around and then watched reality
trash.
TV.
Yeah.
But because the restaurants got closed, it cut straight to the watching trash TV part. No conversation, no sexy times.
Yeah, the routine got all scrambled
Yeah,
up.
And I just felt like, like why do I not feel connected? Like I feel like we've been spending time together, but I didn't feel connected.
I had the same thought, and I wasn't putting it together either until you said that, and I was like, holy shit, that is what it is.
Yeah.
Because, and plus, there's just a heaviness in the air that's been happening, and so I wasn't as like, I don't know.
Excited for date night. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. It just felt wrong to be excited about something, which
True.
is lame and not good in your relationship.
Yeah. And then the third one is that dick. I mean, the third love language is physical touch, which is sex. And I think that's really important. I feel like in my early relationships, I discounted it a lot. I was like, yeah, I don't really like sex that much.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't realize how huge of a factor that is in that you should like having sex with your partner.
Yes.
And or at least being intimate with your partner
Yes.
or whatever. And there's like people out there who are asexual, and I'm not saying this is the case for everybody, but for me personally, I didn't realize that physical touch was so important to me. And so if you feel like you don't like sex that much or it's just meh or whatever, you should look into it psychologically, maybe because I didn't really realize until I talked to a psychologist or a therapist, and we kind of unpacked a lot, and I realized that I was having intimacy issues, like not opening myself up all the way. And then I didn't actually want to with those particular people. And then once I started like being open and, you know, connecting.
Vulnerable, honest.
The people, well, the one person that I feel like I continually, like, it's just like you fill me up.
Damn straight. Damn straight.
Literally
Send this
and
to your dad.
metaphorically.
Send this to your dad.
But I just feel so connected and so filled with joy.
Me too.
When we are connecting.
And I would say that my fourth one, because I'm with you on sexual.
Wow, fourth? You got a lot of needs, buddy.
One, right? No. And this sounds so lame, but it's just true, and you know this about me.
Yeah.
I need you to need me.
True.
And that's not like in a helpless way or anything like that. I just need to take care of you. It's like something that's innate in me, and it's a big deal to me, and I love being able to take care of you. And so I like just getting you things when you need them, or like whatever that is. I like that shit.
I need a lot of hugs.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever it is,
I require a lot of hugs.
Or even just getting her a cup of coffee or something. Like honestly, like I just love that shit, and it just makes me feel good.
Yeah.
To give you that, like it's a mutual thing.
He's a foot taller than me. He's got big old arms, and he just like wraps them all around.
Yeah, she's she's tiny, dude. It's disturbing how tiny.
This episode's mushy.
I know.
Sorry,
People are gonna
guys.
call me a simp because of this shit.
Well, you are a simp.
Oh yeah, I'm a fucking simp. What kinds of things do I do that annoy you, and what kinds of behaviors do you think I should stop or modify?
Ooh, this is good. This is a great question.
Right.
So I don't like, and my mom used to do this with my dad. I think this was a contention point with them too, where you'll want to help, right? And you offer to help, which is really sweet. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so nice of you. And it's acts of service. So it's totally my love language. And I'm like, I have this list of things to do, and you offer to take like 2 or 3 off my plate or something, or I mean, even one thing off my plate.
Yeah.
And then hours go by, and that thing still hasn't been done.
Yeah.
And in your mind, it's like, well, I'm gonna do it.
It's on my plate.
I'm gonna get it. Get to it. But in my mind, the reason I'm so stressed is because that thing is there, and I need it done like now.
Yeah.
Like I need to do all of these things need to get done right now or as soon as possible. And so I end up like sometimes just doing it myself, and then I like am mad because you said such a sweet thing, and then I don't want to take it away from you.
Yeah.
But then it's like it really isn't sweet if it's getting left to the end of the day, or like, not when I needed it.
When you're like, hey, you took it off my plate to do it.
Yeah.
Like now.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that we didn't communicate that.
Yeah.
So I remember I would have things to do. I would add your thing to my plate, and then I would get to it instead of prioritizing it, which is what you assumed.
Right, because it was still high on my priority list.
Right.
And so when it goes like, you're like, I'll take care of it, but it's on a different point on your priority list. It's like, wait, no, you said you were going to take care of this, and now it's still here in my mind and not freeing the clutter.
Yes.
So there was that, but that's pretty much done now.
I think so, yeah.
And then the other thing is, which is I think a work in progress currently, is that I just wish you were a little bit more organized in your surroundings and environment, because
working on that.
Even though it's your office, there's still like I have to go in there to do laundry, and the closet, like I can just feel the clutter in there. And knowing that if I open it, it's just a bunch of shit piled on top of each other.
Yeah.
It makes my mind feel bad.
It's so funny too, because I felt like I did so good with that because I got rid of my wire box and a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
But even then, there's still clutter in there. So yeah, I gotta.
Right. It just needs to be organized. Like there needs to be like some shelves, like some units of separation.
Yeah.
Something that like everything has a place. And I mean, to be honest, like I didn't build that skill for a long time. Like it was something very conscious that I had to work on. And I think that now that I'm on the other end of it, I can't go back to the old way, and my mind can't go back to the old way or rest when there's stuff like that.
I also think it was a symptom of what I was dealing with last July.
Yeah.
Where I didn't feel like I had to take care of myself because I was very upset with myself. And so I felt like
you didn't deserve to be taken care of almost.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And so and then that's why my car was just in a fucking shit show for a long time, and now it's the cleanest thing in my life, actually.
Yeah, my car's a fucking mess.
Yeah, so and I'll help you with that, but
I haven't been driving it in my defense.
True. But point being is that it was in stages for me.
Yeah.
I got my car in order. Now I have an office that you were
I
awesomely
helped fix up a little
helped
bit.
me fix up.
Yeah.
And now when I clean up the office, it feels like,
yeah,
oh
there's
my God,
definitely
there's a benefit to cleaning.
There's
it
a
looks
sense
good.
of pride.
Yeah. And I've been doing really good at that. I know you roasted me in your fucking vlog the other day. That wasn't fair.
That was before.
It wasn't fair.
That was before you had that talk with me.
Exactly.
My vlogs are at least 10 days behind, if not 2 weeks.
Me.
I did roast you, but then like literally the next day you were like, I'm having a sense of pride of like taking care of my office, and I was like, oh man, I just roasted him
Roasted
yesterday.
you so hard, folks. Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah. So that was why I think I went through that, and it sucks to look back and go, man, I like let the tornado go all the way around me.
And I think your explanation was sweet. You're like, well, I prioritized you over my own stuff, and
it's true.
And
I
so,
did it to all my friends, by the way. I put everyone else ahead of my shit.
I also think just like learning how to organize that was a big factor for me. I didn't even know how to organize things before, and then once I learned, it's like can become a habit. Yeah.
I think that one of the things that you do, I wouldn't say it annoys me, but it's something that I wish that we could do better at.
Okay.
Is you, and I think you're working on this. This is all therapy-based stuff, but letting go of some things sometimes. Not necessarily about me, just in your own life.
True.
Like about things that have affected you, or like people, or in the past, or whatever the fuck. Like I think that you have some pain that it would be good. It doesn't annoy me. It's just it would be good for you to
cycle, like mentally.
To cycle it out.
I think that that's definitely something that I've made a lot of progress in over the past few years, especially after seeing
the stages of psychology
previous. My latest therapist.
It was great.
She had a program because her whole philosophy was that therapy shouldn't have to be an ongoing thing. You should be able to correct the root issue within 10 visits, and then have maintenance visits after that if you need them. And I really liked that about her, and that's definitely helped a lot. I would say it's a little bit more short term now, where if someone's done something in the past couple months, it's like it lives in my head, and I carry it around, and I wish that I could just resolve it. Like, I think because if I have a problem with someone, I'm super direct. Like, I'm very...
Love that about you.
And I don't like confrontation at all.
No.
But I don't like holding that sinking gross feeling more than I don't like confrontation. So I always nip it in the bud. I always say exactly what I have a problem with, or if I think that someone has a problem with me and they're not addressing it, I ask them like, hey, did I do something? Like, is there something that we could talk about or fix or resolve? And when people don't extend that same courtesy, it really bothers me.
Yeah.
And I can't force someone to admit they have a problem with me or to resolve an issue with me or to stop talking behind my back rather than addressing me personally. And then I just get fuming in my own head about an imaginary arguments that we haven't even had yet, but because I haven't been able to clear the air. Yeah.
Totally. So yeah, that's something that you got to deal with at your own pace.
Yeah.
I'm just bringing it up because that's what the question is.
Look at this man walking on eggshells.
Well,
So you know, it doesn't annoy me, but
it doesn't. It doesn't though. It really doesn't. It's
know.
all part of you, and since I've known you,
Yeah.
you've made so much progress in the department. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's also good to keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
That's all.
I think feeling more comfortable with yourself and acceptance in your all aspects of your life, like not comparing yourself to others, was a huge hurdle that solved a lot of that for me.
Mm-hmm.
Where stopping comparing your life to others, I know it's so hard with Instagram and stuff, but thinking that I should be at a certain point when I'm not at that point,
Mm-hmm.
and just coming down on myself a lot, and then it ends up turning into resentment towards other people that get it more easily or whatever.
Yes.
And I think that was a hard part, but I think that's pretty cleared up now.
I think so.
Yeah.
Next question is, how can we make our sex life better? Those of you at home, also, this question's for you.
Is that a trick question?
It's not a trick question.
I feel like 10 out of 10 with. Can we go back to the 10 out of 10s?
I'm with you on the 10 out of 10 on it. I'm with you on the 10 out of 10s. I'll pipe up. I'll pipe up a little bit.
Okay.
You surprised me with anal?
No.
No. Anal sex. No. You surprised me with a costume a couple months ago. Haven't seen it since.
Maybe
saying.
maybe you didn't deserve it. I'm just kidding.
I was pretty into it.
Kidding, yeah.
Pretty excited about it.
Yeah, but if I did a costume every time, like
I think I'll let me complain about it. How about that? Let me fucking file a complaint. I'm not saying do it every time. I'm not saying that.
I think that I think our sex life is like really solid. Sometimes I feel like it feels so good that I want it to last longer.
Okay. Fair.
But I also feel like we used to in the beginning go like 5 times in a row.
Well, yeah,
or something like that.
We can still do that.
And that's crazy.
Yeah.
But like we were more free time wise then.
Well, right.
So schedules are busy, and then it's like if you don't have sex for a week, like
this is the issue.
That's hard to not come right away.
So this is the issue.
And that's not right away either, by the way. It's not like
it's
not like
45 seconds.
it's at least 45.
I promise
No.
you.
It's like
it's like 1,000, 2, 1,000.
I enjoy all the leading up to sex part though. That like I feel like Steve does a really good job at oral. Dad, I hope you're not listening.
Send this to your father, please. Everyone, send this to Nikki's father.
He's really really good at like in a massive way where I'm like, did you learn a new trick? I don't get it.
I fucking wrecked this shit,
Yeah,
man.
and so that before sex is amazing.
Yeah.
I am like dick drunk.
Yeah, it's the best part.
I crave more.
Yeah. So
I'm greedy.
I'm good at giving you more.
Yes.
However, during this, where sometimes we have sex once a week or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes when I go to give it to you more, you're like, yo, I'm too fucking.
That's true.
Yeah.
I get sore a lot faster.
Yeah. So we did that twice in a row.
Yeah.
And then I felt like, okay, well, I don't want to like be an asshole and just keep trying to go.
Yeah.
But then, I think that this is good that you're telling me this because
Yeah.
I want to do that too.
Yeah, it's a very situational thing because like sometimes I can't go more.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't go more.
Well, the other night I couldn't go more because I was just too sensitive. Yeah.
Exactly.
But that doesn't always happen.
No, I know. That's what
No.
I'm saying is that it switches off. I'm not saying like, dude, Steve needs to last longer. Guys, what the fuck?
Guys,
I'm saying
I'm good at it.
Sometimes I want it to last longer, and between the two of us, if it goes too long between having sex, then we are not equipped physically. Like it's like when you used to work out every day, and then you like take a 2-week break, and then you think that you can have the same endurance level, you can run the same amount of miles in the same time.
You can't.
And you're like, wait, what the fuck? I know my body can do this. Why isn't it doing it?
Yeah.
You just have to be constantly practicing, and I think that we just need more practice.
I'm into that. Let's definitely, do
a
that.
regimen.
We'll definitely do that. That's it for my questions.
How do you think you did on your survey?
I think I got an A.
Well, that's tight.
Yeah.
You think you'd be rehired?
Yeah.
I think so too.
I think I got that at most like Han Solo.
Han Solo?
Yeah.
Don't make a Star Wars reference when
no,
I know Star Wars.
I think that's what the survey says. It says I'm most like Han Solo, which is tight.
Live long and prosper.
You know the Star Wars. It's tight.
Yeah.
No, have you ever taken a survey? Oh yeah, you have actually.
Oh yeah,
and
there's
then you
a
wanted
video
to have
of
an
that.
answer.
Shut the fuck up. I've never taken a survey like that in my life.
Nikki cried, guys.
No, I didn't.
Because she got.
I don't know what it's talking.
So
he's
on
talking
Rick and
some
Morty,
bullshit.
we
You know,
were
one
taking
thing that
surveys?
annoys me is
Yeah,
that
okay.
he just talks bullshit out of his mouth and his asshole.
We did a Rick and Morty survey, everybody.
I don't know. I don't even know what
Nikki
this show
got
is.
Jerry, and she cried.
I don't know what that. We gotta go.
There's a
Anyway,
video
subscribe
on Nikki's
so you
YouTube
don't
channel. You can watch
miss
it.
any future episodes.
crying 'cause
Rate
she's
us.
Jerry.
We love you. Thank you to our sponsors. Bonus episodes on our Patreon.
pathetic.
There's a link in the description. I'm single, so like if anybody needs a wife,
This
like
went
let me
well.
know.
This went well.
And we'll see you soon.
I don't want to be with a Jerry. I'll tell you that.
Goodbye.